Hi everybody, and if you are new to my channel and clicking it because you want to see what this homeschooler is using for curriculum, thank you so much for stopping by. So what I'm doing is, this is just a little intro into who I am, what grades I'm teaching, etc. So I am a mom of 5 children. I say I'm homeschooling all 5 because let's face it, every day is a learning day when you're homeschooled. But specifically grades, we have, see if I get this right, because I'm the kind of mom that's like, you're 10 years old, okay, you're in 10th grade. So she's going to be 10 going into 4th grade. He's going to be 9 going into 3rd grade. And their birthdays are at the end of the year. I have a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, which if you want to get technical, I guess would be kindergarten preschool, but we follow Charlotte Mason method of teaching. So it's year 0, pretty much. Speaking of following a Charlotte Mason way, what I try to follow in that aspect, since I'm still learning, and this is only my 2nd year of really trying to follow her methods, what we're following is kind of the habit training, lots of outdoor time for exploring, and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking at a dirty bed that I really need to make and change sheets, and it's distracting. But that's another thing about me. I'm a distracting woman. Wait a minute. I do a lot of reading with them. I think reading kind of opens their world to exploring more, to you know, kind of good, if you get good literature, they're being exposed to a good vocabulary, the grammar, and all that kind of stuff. So literature, spreading a feast, I think is how it's been put, and I think that is a term Charlotte Mason used, but I have yet to read all 6 volumes that are up there. I have yet to read all 6 volumes. I'm working on it, slowly but surely. It's hard reading. So you've got all the art study and the copy work, your dictation, yeah, all that. So that's what I say when I mean we're trying to follow a Charlotte Mason method. It's less textbook, test kind of approach. So if you're looking for that kind of thing where you've got, I can't think of anything at the top of my head. Becca seems to come to mind, where you've got your textbook and then your test, and that's how everything is measured by what you know. You won't find a lot of that here. I do have a certain amount because of the grammar. It's a husband requested one, so my grammar is going to be more traditional in that sense. But I kind of make a twist on it to fit what I want to do. Anyway, so kind of wanted to explain where we are, what we're doing. This video is just showing what we're doing as a family. Oh, I also help teach my youngest sister, who is going into the 5th grade, I think. It's 5th grade. I think she's doing 5th grade. Or 6th grade. Oh dear. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know grades that well. But, so this video basically is showing all the stuff that we're doing together. I can't emphasize this enough. This is not going to be done every single day. Most of these you do 1 to 2 times per week. How that's going to be, I don't quite know, because I don't really know our schedule yet for this coming year, because the girls will be doing ballet, and I need to know how that looks in our day-to-day life. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to flip the camera around at this point, and you're going to see what I picked up. I will speed up some of the flip-throughs, I think, because, again, it'll cut down on the time of this long video, which I've spoken enough now, so let's get started. Okay, so here we go. This is what I have chosen to do for our family for the school year, for the 2017-2018. And as you can see, this is not, I just want to reiterate, this is not something that we will be doing every single day. If I did all of this every single day on top of their individual work, I would probably go a little bit cuckoo. But each thing is done during the week. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to do for Fridays. I might kind of incorporate what Candace calls her Fun Fridays. But I'm thinking I might just make it like the arts would be our Fridays, because then my husband could do that with us, and he is more artistic than I am. Kind of get started, kind of what we would open our morning out with. We'll open it out with one of our history readings, and I will be showing the history that we're going to be doing in just a second. Okay, so what I would open our morning with is some Bible reading and maybe a little bit of this. I'm going to be trying this one. A lot of people have really recommended it, so I thought I would give it a try, and I picked it up pretty inexpensively. So I think it was like $3 or something. So I'm going to try that one. But the main thing is we're going to be continuing our Confessions of a Homeschooler thing here. And it kind of goes along with the habit training. Well, I'm not going to do the memory verse, but I will do, where we read the story, and then we will have the lesson for the day. I'm choosing to read it out of this, the DK Children's Illustrated Bible, rather than an actual Bible, because sometimes you're reading huge sections. So this one's just Daniel 3, but when we get to like Noah, we read Genesis 6 through 8, and that's a lot of reading to do in a day. So I'm just going to do the DK Bible, and it's got pictures and stuff, so that'll be fun for the children. So we'll kind of open up with that, and then we're going to go into our memory verses. Now, these are free printable off of simplycharlottemason.com. I had a hard time opening the PDF last year, and Rachel from Day to Day Joys was so sweet, and that's actually how we first connected. She let me know how to get in contact with her, and she put it in a file that I could open. And we memorized some of them, but we didn't get through all of them, so we'll just kind of pick up where we are, and I think we're going to refresh what we did memorize. So we'll kind of do that to start our day out. And, okay. And then we'll do our hymn study. Now, we are Lutherans, and so I kind of chose hymns that we could find in our book. And I asked the children if there was any ones that they wanted to learn. And so we're going to be doing that. And I added a few of my own. I definitely am pulling out my Church of Christ roots, because I chose some hymns that I remembered from childhood as well. And so you can, we'll study them here and we'll learn them. That's my whole goal, is to learn the hymns. But then my husband also has this book. And so we can just learn a little bit about the author of the hymn. So that will be, what we do every day. We'll probably just read the biography, maybe once or twice, maybe even 3 times, and try to remember as much as we can about him, or even find a little bit more online. But the main thing is going to be to learn the hymns. So that'll be kind of how we open our day out. And then these are just different things that we will be doing as a family. Again, I don't have the history right here, because that's a huge task to put on my bed. So I did a review on that. You can click this iCard and it will take you to that review. But these are what I'm going to be using for our habit training. And I'm just going to do the 3 that they recommend, which is obedience, attentiveness, obedience, and truthfulness, I believe is what it is. So I will be focusing on those, and kind of just, again, you use it about 2 or 3 times a week, and we will be doing this as a family. I'm really excited to kind of start this, not just for my children's sake, but for mine as well. Alright, so we have these for Shakespeare. I think both Ambleside and Simply Charlotte Mason recommend Shakespeare, and they have their own rotation with it. But I'm just going to be using the Usborne's Illustrated Stories from Shakespeare. My 8-year-old really enjoyed this, and I really liked how engaging it was, and just kind of set the story. And from that you can, I will go into the Tales from Shakespeare. Now, Usborne does have a complete stories from Shakespeare that are just retold. They're not in the Shakespearean language, but they have less pictures. Again, not a bad thing. But I did want to kind of start out with this, and then they will go into this one, which is what I have. I have the other one too, but I'm just going to be using this one. And we'll just, kind of try to figure out the story. I think we might do a little bit of acting with Shakespeare from that. And I will show a couple other resources with that. Also, I want to add in this book with, this is something that I'm trying to learn with Shakespeare. So hopefully before school starts, I will be able to get a little bit more into this and kind of educate myself on how to teach Shakespeare. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and yeah, anyway, so these are what I will be using to do Shakespeare. Now, music study, I have another Confessions of a Homeschooler. This is her freebie. Okay, let's try that again. This is her free printable. This is Johannes Brahms. This is about composers, and then what we'll do is we'll just use YouTube for different movie, different music selections. But I have 2 copies here, so you'll have to bear with me in trying to show you. Okay, so here we have our student notebook. Now, this is what happens a lot of times with my PDFs, and I do not understand why. But I don't understand that. But anyway, you're going to put this in a 1-inch binder. This goes in the side, and these are the tabs. So these are the different Bach, Mozart, Chopin, but I have all of these. I purchased this one that has all of these. But Brahms is a free one. And then we have this again. This is for the teacher. This is for the student. This is for the teacher. And then we have Johannes Brahms. I will be going to the library and trying to find a little bit like a living book to kind of do with it. But I don't want to get too heavy into it. But also she has where you can listen online. And then lesson 1, you're going to read from a book she recommends, and I don't know where that is. There's a book that goes with this. I will put it right here for you. And I don't know if I will be using that, but I might just do what I can. Okay, so then you have all these lessons. I'm trying to get to, okay, instrument identification. As you're listening to music today, color the instruments you can hear in the composition. Describe the music, and then you're using these letters to describe it. And then here's your timeline. You're going to cut that out. As you're listening to another piece by this composer, you can do a coloring page, a free drawing, draw about how the music makes you feel. Again, what do you hear? What instruments are you hearing as you hear this? And then, yeah, lap book. So you will be making a lap book. I think I might adapt this. I'm not sure. It just depends on time. This one you're going to laminate, cut it out, and piece the puzzle together. Here are a few facts. These are what my husband and I loved most. You've got a home country, you have a portrait, a lifespan, famous compositions, and then my favorite composition. You have your timeline. And then we're back to instrument identification, appendix, composer report, Word unscramble. Okay, so we have a ton of music bingos. Okay, so I think the rest might just be music bingo. Okay, here we go. Bibliography. So these are some of the resources she used. And there we go. Okay, so this one I just showed you, Brahms. I probably will start out with him, but I did purchase her other thing when she had her 40% off sale. So I have that for us. And again, that won't be done every single day. Just wanted to reiterate that.